Good evening. This is the Penfield Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting on May 14th. It is 6 p.m. We can go ahead and begin today's meeting. We do have the agenda in front of us and the meeting minutes for our last meeting, but do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda? I did make a note about the Shadow Pines update piece for the project, the Eagles project, so.
Yep. Yeah. So we will have, I think, Tim under the Parks. We've got an Eagle Scout project looking for some financial assistance that we've done in the past through our Trails Committee and then the Parks and Rec Advisory. Unfortunately, the Eagle Scout couldn't make it tonight, but kind of time pending would like us to. Tim can propose it to the group, and then if everybody approves, we can provide that financial assistance.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other additions or deletions? Okay.
Nope.
I see none. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, approval of minutes for the April 9th, 2024 meeting. I do want to thank Don for curating the minutes and also leading the last meeting. It's always appreciated. But any questions or input about the meeting minutes?
I guess I just have a response to one of the action items on here, which I think ended up with me. That was to confirm that postings for the Shadow Pines Disc Golf Course for tournaments are on the boards, and they are. They're on both sides, so you see them when you come in, you see them when you leave. I think there's one additional date that may not be on those postings, and that's May 26th. There's another event going on there. And speaking to John Kelly in the area. So I don't know if we want to add that to the website, Parks and Rec website for Shadow Pines property. I don't know if it'll get posted on the billboards, but it might already.
I know I've spoken with him, and we weren't at the confirmation stage yet, so okay. I'll reach out to him, confirm it, and if and when it's confirmed, we'll put it on the website and on the board as well.
Perfect. That
may be confirmed on his end, just hasn't gotten to me yet.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Perfect. Any other input about the last meeting minutes? Meetings minutes? Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. We can move on to the discussion items. We will start with the 2024 Parks and Recreation Masterplan Update Committee.
Yep. So we were hoping in the original timeline that I might have created too swiftly to try and get it done before the busy summer months. But after some discussions with the town supervisor and others and our committee, we're looking to present that draft now to town board in the fall season. Just gives us some extra time to go through the information, write our narratives, but we do have a meeting next week at the community center as a master plan committee to kind of go through our first rough draft as a group, make comments, and then the hope would be is that draft then gets, I'll email this committee prior to our June meeting so that everybody can review it, and then just have a general discussion here at our next June meeting for your notes and review, and then we'll take those edits kind of over the summer and then start it back up in the fall to present it to town board.
Any questions, any input from anyone?
No.
The Penfield Trails Committee.
Well, since our last meeting here, we've had two good guided hikes. Back in April, we had a guided hike at Thousand Acre Swamp. It was raining, but much to my shock, we actually had quite a few people come. I think there was 10 or 15 people.
I had 18 total, 12
and it turned out to be actually an enjoyable hike in the rain.
Good attitudes amongst the hiking people.
That counts for double in the rain.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then the exciting thing last Saturday, we had our first hike of the year that did not have bad weather. So it was very nice.
Very nice.
It was at Harris Whalen Park. Don did a great job walking people around, showing them various spring flowers and things like that. Coming up, June 8th is Shadow Pines hike, and I know we're going to probably just try to stay on the south side, but probably go over, some people have never been over to the area, I guess it's the east side where it's wooded and stuff. People always think of the, what was the golf course, so we're going to take people over there, let people see that area. We're also starting, we had some discussions with people at the hike last week, the idea of pop-up hikes, where we gathered email addresses and we're going to, start some communication saying, okay, we're going to do a hike, maybe a week from now or something. And once we decide that, we'll try to get it up on the Penfield Rec Facebook page so people communicate it. But by gathering email addresses, we'll be able to tell people how to do it. For now, probably the emails will come out from one of us, but eventually hoping they can come out from the Recreation Department or something.
Sure.
We'll figure that out. But we gathered like 4 email addresses from people that were interested in the idea.
Yeah, so this is in reaction to comments in the survey. People requesting various types. So we're going to try it.
I think my recommendation, some of the through hikes I've seen Don post, I want to try them myself. I highly recommend if Don's willing on leading them or someone.
Absolutely.
Those are great hikes, connecting those different park areas and trail areas, as I know that's an initiative from our master plan and trails. So kudos for blazing those trails.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
A good one.
Because just so people know, 2 of the hikes Don did, one was from Spring Lake all the way to Arundecoit Bay West.
About 10 miles.
And then the other was from here all the way to Shadow Pines.
Right.
So,
Are those going to have a boots rating?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we should.
cool.
We would definitely do that. And really, some of the comments were for more strenuous or longer hikes. Some were for easier, elderly specific or, different things. So some of them could be really short and easy. Some could be long and more challenging. Hopefully, we'll get different members of the committee interested in leading them.
we'll get into some logistical insurance type questions if we try to do one of those and then have car pulls and stuff to bring people back. How do we avoid any issues from that?
True.
Yeah, we can.
Those are both through hikes.
We can talk about those ones with rec vans and things like that. We might be able to get some rec staff or myself to assist with those.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
The other thing on the agenda is, we still have the action to try to update the passports and the kiosk information, the trail maps, and that's underway. That's going to take a little while. So.
Was there any action on I know you had identified inconsistencies in the literature and I think submitted that. Is there any action or is that
I have the thing saved. I guess I was under the impression I was just going to wait until it was all kind of confirmed and solidified.
I think there's some things we can fix now. So
Sure. If there's those things, if you want to send them separately, I did share that ultimate, I've got it on my desktop right here, that updated guide that you had sent, that Dawn had been working on. I sent that to our PR team, but I did tell them, just as a heads up, if you see any inconsistencies, this is coming from Trails, but I didn't ask to make the changes yet. But if you have identified things that you want to change, we can do that.
Yeah, I think there's some things on the website we can at least get cleaned up. So
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I know that's a big undertaking, but I think a really important one to be consistent in all of our communication for that stuff.
Okay. I think that's it, Shri.
Thank you. We can move to the parks update.
The Shadow Pines pickleball property, or the Shadow Pines property pickleball project, I guess seeing is believing. Just go to the corner there, you'll see them working their butts off. So it's going along. They worked on the trails leading to the new site. They just were working on the site work on those trails. So the outer part of those trails are going to be completed first, then they're going to bring everything back in. So by October, August, those trails will be mint, grass will be growing, so that's a step in the right direction. But just take a drive by there, you'd see it.
the water and electric? Good?
Yep, I believe they hooked up the sewer to Harwood Circle, so that lines it already in. I don't know if they actually did the hookup, but they did the pipe all the way through the property there. I don't know if they actually did the hookup at Harwood Circle yet. But yeah, they got stuff in the ground, moving dirt.
But certainly, I think the pieces that were, if you look at the footprint of the construction, on a map, the parts that kind of extended away from that I'm sure people saw and thought, oh, wow, this is way bigger than I thought. They were doing those first for that reason, to connect. Now, hopefully the grass grows, with double cutting, mowing that we're doing around
Yes.
town and things like that with some good rain and sunlight, so it grows soon. But the paths I've been on, they've been awesome to walk through. I'm really excited for.
I noticed the one the other day coming down Atlantic Avenue, the one
Yeah.
that weaves in through the trees there. It's
Yes.
cut in real nice, very
Yep.
aesthetically pleasing and inviting too, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, and I think that, like Tim said, looking into the fall, as the Trails Committee and Parks and Rec Advisory, we're going to start looking at that north side to make, a loop or some sort of a trail system up there that's, ADA accessible. And we did just receive an email from the school, one of the counselors, about sensory, nature walks and things like that. So just some good ideas. So if people have ideas, they can email recreation@penfield.org. But I think that's going to be a really cool project over there, kind of starting our trail system from that project.
And we are going to, in the next couple weeks, the Parks Department, we're going to get out there, and you could tell if you walk it, there's a lot of trails closed because it goes right into the work site. The grass is growing up. We're going to cut some temporary trails to go around the work site so we can still hike through and walk through. So.
And I know we're working with the cross-country teams because they have a meet, not a meet, but there's a fundraiser 5K on the north side in June. And I believe it's the 20th or 22nd off the top of my head, but it's on our website. But I know those trails will be cut for them knowing into the fall with the track meets or cross-country meets and things like that. So it'll be nice to kind of redesign it for now.
Good.
The Shadow Pines property bike project update. I did not go to that last walkthrough.
Yep, I know Ben couldn't make it tonight. I know Don was there. If you want to, talk about it, I'll
That
add
was,
in.
there wasn't a full walk. Linda was actually there.
No, the last
you
time I
missed that one.
couldn't,
You were
right,
at the
we
other
had
one,
a-
too. Yeah, anyway.
Pen-
Yeah, so he showed us where he thought the parking lot, where, this is all what he will be proposing for review, right? So nothing's obviously agreed. Where he would propose a pump track goes, where he would propose the bike, I don't know what he calls the bike area, bike-specific area. And that's kind of really all we covered, those special ones. The previous, we walked the full route with the trails.
Yeah.
So I think he had a pretty detailed drawing. So I feel like he's getting close to having something to present, but I also know this is his really busy time. I got an update from Ben's not here, from G-Rock that the West Hill has, there's a grand opening there, and he's part of that whole project and things. So I'm not sure what his schedule is for releasing something to the town for review.
Yeah, I think at that meeting, kind of along the same, you and I had talked, but I think it's kind of tabled at the moment for his end while his busy season goes, and then we'll reconnect in the fall. But I think the next steps would be some sort of, he showed us the maps and what his, presenting of what at least that land shows of a good system. Now it's like, what sort of phasing would we do for this sort of project? Because you're not going to add all of those trails at once, what would make the most sense. So I would imagine that'll come before this committee and then up to town board at some point. So,
Yeah,
but that'll most likely be in the fall.
At this point, not
Yeah.
likely till fall, but it does look like he's close, so.
Yeah.
Cool. The addition, or I'll do the addition before the athletic fields. Henson Rapp, he is a scout working on, he came to us with a scout project. Benches. He wanted to put benches on the Shadow Pines disc golf property. That's been a need that we've been talking about for a little while now. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, they've been coming our way. We kind of put them in that direction because there's really no benches out there right now. He wants to build 3 of them. We're going to put 2 right by the red T of hole number 1 on top of the first hill there.
Yep.
Because that seems to be a waiting area for a little with the
Good idea.
T's there. And then I believe there was another one either on either 9 or 10 or 11 around that area, right off the main course. He's asking for the 3 benches. Everybody should have the sheets. He's asking for $195.88. We do have that money in the budget between the trails and our community service budget that we have. It's usually a first come, first serve. Normally it's 150, but he's doing an extra bench for us, so I would recommend to you guys that we go ahead with that. I don't know if we put that to a vote or
I just think if anybody disapproves, certainly we've got money in the budget, but at least we try to at least have the scout come, but unfortunately he has driver's ed tonight, and we didn't want to make sure that he missed that. And I know that this is time sensitive to make sure that it gets done before the summer months for his age restriction. But I think, like Tim said, it's been something disc golf. It's kind of that next thing to get a bench at least at every hole potentially.
They look great.
But yeah, well constructed hopefully. And
Is this the same Eagle Scout that was building the kiosk displays, or is this a?
Nope, different. We have there's a whole list of scouts that come.
Yeah.
Another scout that we've been working with, she had us, she gathered information for kiosks, and we just put those up in the Sherwood kiosk, the linear kiosk, and the Shadow Pines kiosk by the Clark barn. So again, it's just a rolling.
Yeah. At this point, for 2024, we currently have 9 Eagle Scouts or Girl Scout projects that we've been working with them at various times to have meetings. Some are closer to being done and have already been completed. Others are just in those planning phases. But we also have, I wanted to mention, a volunteer. His name is Gary Kaminska. And he proposed a lost and found box at Channing Philbrick Park. And it's something that we've talked about for a long time too. I know at Trails Committee meetings way back when, at our kiosks, at places like that, if someone loses a glove or a hat, it's usually left on there, and hopefully somebody comes back to get it.
Yeah.
This lost and found box, this volunteer, Gary and his organization, were trying to give back to the community. They came up with a design and a plan for it. So they're building that box right now. We're hoping that comes within the next month or so, and we can start it at Channing Philbrick Park. There'd be little sheets of paper in there with a name and number if you lose something or if you found it, when. But we're going to kind of test it out there, and then if it works, we're hoping to put them at every, trailhead or park or property kind of around town and use that as that model. So I did want to mention that one there that
And
we're
they're
working with them.
self-funding that, the materials?
Currently, their organization, they had it was at the end of April, some sort of a volunteer initiative. So they're paying for this one and donating it. We've asked Gary to send the plans to us. Potentially, we could build them to be consistent at all of the parks. But I met with him at Home Depot to pick up some equipment that he just didn't have a vehicle for this week, and he had kind of mentioned that they might be able to fund future ones too. So it's just something that we could look at, but
Right.
I do think it's a great opportunity to have these boxes at all of our parks if it goes well, and work with our security and parks departments for it.
Good.
Okay.
Did we finish with the bench?
No, I was, yeah.
Sorry.
Steve, is this community good with this?
I'm fine with the benches. Good idea.
I'm good with
Great idea.
Because when we did meet in Hanson out there, we met with
David Kopp.
David Kopp and who's the course manager? His name's
Jason Phelps?
Nope.
Dave Narpa?
No, he does all the work over there. He's like the steward. We were just talking
I
about
got
him.
his last name wrong. That's his
Yeah.
name. So
Yeah. Cool. So we met him out there. We agreed that was a good spot for it. So I think we're good to go there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
we'll confirm with Hanson, and that project should be done by the beginning of July, I believe, with this timeline.
Wonderful.
So, thank you.
Just quick, athletic fields and parking lot. Just an update from the Parks Department. We did our big laying out of all the sports and rectangle fields this year with our little robot Alfred. It saved a ton of time
he's
with
named?
that. Alfred? Yeah, it came. His name's Alfred. It came with it, so we could rename him, but we felt that was a little. Yeah, he's our little paint machine that has been wonderful for our Parks Department as far as getting stuff done and other projects done while he's painting the fields, or it is painting the fields, and going from there. And we did finish the new Rofus parking lot for those new backfields there. We opened it up about a week, 2 weeks ago maybe, give or take. It's an 88 spot lot. It's all recycled millings that we've used or that we've saved over time, so that was cost effective also. So yeah, that's open, and not putting Andy on the spot, but hopefully it relieved a lot of the pressure from Greenwood. I haven't had any phone calls, because usually we get phone calls about parking on the side of Scribner Road for Greenwood.
Yep, we haven't heard of any issues over there. And at Greenwood Park used to house all of our youth lacrosse, so there were 5 fields there, various sizes, and we had 2 very small parking lots that maybe could handle 1 to 2 fields. So working with PYL and other organizations to try and schedule, we did our best with what we had there, but the 3 new fields at Rofus were able to absorb those 5 fields with how big that they were. So the extra parking there certainly helps. I will say we have heard parking issues at Rofus Park. We're aware of them. We're trying to promote the new parking lot. It's just been opened within the last week. Because of that new parking lot opening up, there's actually a parking lot to the north of the property next to our turf field. That is where the millings were stored before, so I think a lot of people think that that's just where millings were dumped, so they didn't actually think it's parking area, but people can park there. Yes, it is a walk if you're trying to go all the way over to the furthest south fields, but that parking is available. We're kind of seeing how this works with the 3 new fields and the parking, but I think when we've looked at it over the last couple of years, knowing that the fields are going in, we're happier that there's traffic or parking issues inside of a park rather than on a sidewalk on a main street. So as much as we know that there are still issues, at least it's a little bit more controlled. So we thank everybody for their patience and cooperation during that time. But
Is Greenwood still being used?
Greenwood is now 2 soccer fields.
Yep, there's a large soccer field, full-size soccer field, and then a mid-size, so that's about.
And that's 2 fields, which is obviously way different than 5. The soccer's moved over there. I think the field, you just rolled it out and made it better, but hopefully in the long term that'll work out with the fields over there.
Wonderful. Any other questions or input for?
One question. So I know you had a grant for, 80 or 90 trees or something at Shadows, right? You heard anything about that?
No update on the grant for that. For the, I don't know if it fell through or not. To be honest, I'll have to do some digging on that, but there is no update on that.
Okay.
But I think you guys, after the Arbor Day, didn't you guys plant some over at Sherwood? Wasn't that part of it? For some trees over there?
No.
Nope, never mind, sorry.
No. The Arbor Day, we just planted the 2 out front of Community Center. And they were handing out the bare root trees for that Arbor Day event.
Yep. There was one kind of minor but bothersome thing. There was some vandalism on one of the T-pads on Shadow Pines. Don't know if it was somebody with a cigarette or somebody with a motorcycle or a bike, but they tore a little hole in the T-pad, which it is upsetting it doesn't seem to hurt the play at all. It's just bothersome because everybody's taking a lot of pride in the course. So, I hear some rumors about what actually happened there, but all I know is that there's a spot on the tee pad that's got a little bit of damage. All things considered, for as long as that's been opened and all the people and play that gets there, it's in very good shape, and people seem to take care of the area. But I did want to bring it up, let you know.
That's hole number 9, I think?
Yeah, hole number 9, the red tee.
The red tee,
Yeah,
yep.
I don't play the red tees very often, so
Yeah, it's a shame.
I probably should.
Nice.
Wonderful. Any other input for the Parks team? Okay. Well, I do hope to see some social media post about Alfred. I can't believe I've never heard
Yep.
of Alfred. So
Yeah.
please, rectify.
Everyone wants to see Alfred in work.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
I know-
Cinco de Laxo, it's at the school fields and at the community center. We as the town actually do all of the lining for that, for the lacrosse, and I believe it's 20-some fields.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's usually a big event.
So, I mean, and it's
18 to
a
20.
huge event, it's a wonderful thing that our Penfield Youth Lacrosse does, and it certainly, gets a lot of fundraising for them. But estimate how long it would take you to do 20 fields
Oh, it
prior
would
to
take
getting
us a
this
whole,
machine.
it would take us a whole week, and it took us
Right.
6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really just saving money and time.
With one person compared to my whole crew, which would be 4 people.
Yeah.
For 1 week, it took 6 hours with one.
And that's why our other fields look so
Awesome.
great in early May to be able to do that. So kudos to your team.
That's something that it's a scheduling thing with PCTV, that we start earlier than most people. We get out there, we get going. By the time everybody comes in, it's just,
Yes.
we try to get it painted as fast as we can. So we're just working with trying to get a good time to have them come out there, videotape it so they can make a posting or
Yeah.
show everybody that
They got
how it's
phones.
working.
They got phones nowadays. You got a camera. You got a camera on that phone. Yeah.
True.
Just let
Put
me
you on the
come up
spot. Yeah.
No, it's wonderful that the Parks team has invested in this resource, like the town too, and it's amazing the amount of time it's saving you in terms of resources too. Wonderful. Recreation updates?
Yep. So our summer 2024 registrations opened yesterday. That's the majority of our summer programs, and that season's from about early June until early September. We do have, obviously, our summer camp, which I mentioned, and we talk about at every meeting, that, our youth soccer, some of our bigger summer programs like our youth theater, we put that in our winter spring brochure, and have gotten feedback on things like that. But really just saw a lot of great registrations. Our summer swim was really popular, that we do over at the community pool, that starts in early July and runs through early August. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to about 2 p.m. So I know that was very popular, so it's great to see. For non-residents, they can start registering next Monday. So if you're a resident and you haven't registered, make sure you get in there before the 20th and do it as soon as possible to make sure that there's still spots available. For a summer camp update, we've been tirelessly working and interviewing staff. We were actually just recently, within the last week or so, we were looking into opening up Harris Whalen Enclosed Lodge as a whole extra site location, something that we've looked at the last couple years. Unfortunately, we have a lot of less experienced applicants when it comes to our interviews. We had some, those director positions, assistant directors that do, the majority of the planning and the structure for those different sites. They kind of fell through, ones that we had lined up for that Harris Whalen Lodge. So we've had interviews. We're planning on potentially hiring 4 to 5 more staff and hopefully adding another 20-ish enrollment numbers at our Scribner site location. So the interviews went well. We got good staff. Just we were hoping for a little bit more experience to open up that new site, which we would have been able to open maybe 40 or 50 enrollments. But again, 20 is better than nothing at this point. So that would make our totals be 160 at the community center every week. We're at 80 right now at Scribner. We're hoping to go up to 100 if all of these, applicants and new hires work out in the next couple weeks. And then our Pee Wee program is at 20, I believe. So good numbers. Again, it's a good problem to have, but certainly not, the over 100 people on our wait list, but we are working on it.
Wonderful.
And then we're moving into our heavy events and summer concert kind of schedule for the spring and summer. Our upcoming events, I know that the Victory Garden has a plant sale this Saturday at the community center, which is not listed on the agenda. And there's various other organizations that's scattered on our town website and things like that. But our main town ones are, we have a Memorial Day ceremony of remembrance. That's on Monday, May 27th, Memorial Day. It starts at 10:30 back behind here at our Penfield Amphitheater. We have our Food Truck and Music Fest, which is June 7th, and that starts at 4 o'clock for food trucks, 4:30 for music. We work with the school district and have kind of an end-of-the-year celebration for them and their bands and different various groups to come and play at the amphitheater, and it kind of kicks off our amphitheater series. And then our summer concert series at our amphitheater are on Tuesday nights. It goes June 11th to August 20th. They all start at 6:30. All of them go to 8 except for the 3 kids concerts and family concerts that we have scattered once a month. Those only go for an hour, as having 2 young ones myself, I know getting them to bed is very important. And then our large Independence Day parade and fireworks event, that will be on Saturday, June 29th. The parade is in the morning around 10 a.m. and the fireworks and music and food truck event at Harris Whalen Park starts at 6 p.m. and goes until about 10:30, 11 with the fireworks. But all of that information's on our town website. We're looking forward to another great season.
Any input or questions for the recreation team?
Thanks.
Wonderful. We'll move on to the other business. I know that we did have an addition, but is there anything else that isn't a held item or something we've discussed so far that you want to bring up to this space? Perfect. We can move on to the held items or action items. I know that we already kind of talked about the Shadow Pines, the kiosk and printing and posting event list, but we could start with the first one. Linda, do you have any updates for that?
I don't have any updates. Let's keep that on there. We actually have another work session tomorrow, and I'll try and get this on. There has not been any official discussion from what I found at this point. A lot of sidebar conversations. What does it mean? What's the impact? Sure. And I've got to do that research even to understand what does it mean from a New York State, because I do know that once you declare something a park, there are then, doors shut on different things.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think from a community perspective, I still think there's a lot of questions about, are we going to make that a park classified as such? You probably hear it a lot. Yeah. So.
I think speaking to that too, though, for, concerns that we've heard of, if it's not designated a park, it could go back to housing or things like that. I think there's been enough things that have happened at Shadow Pines that I'm not saying it never would happen, but I think we're moving forward with a lot of projects with that committee to hopefully ease some of those thoughts or concerns while we work out some of these details.
Right. Good point.
The next action item for the Parks Department?
So that was the kiosk
Yeah, that was the
stuff,
kiosk stuff that Steve mentioned that they posted that,
A
so.
bit early with that.
You're
one.
okay.
Yep.
For the rec department one, we're still looking into the process for renting and loaning equipment. I met virtually with a company that actually does kind of rent that equipment, looking at the finances and expenses. We're kind of weighing those options. But they do rentable equipment. Some of the key things were kayak rentals. So looking at LaSalle's Landing Park, could that be an opportunity? Certainly there's, a company with Bay Creek Paddling down there that you don't want to interfere, but looking at that project going into 2025, 2026 for the bathrooms and the update down there, is there an option or something? And then other ones were, renting pickleball equipment, renting, potentially shuffleboard if we had that, tennis equipment, and bocce equipment. And the way it kind of works is, there's a QR code attached to like a gated bin or a lockable, locker system, and you would go up, go on the QR code, do it on your phone, you could pay for that, and then you rent it for X amount of time. Again, there's some upfront costs for the town in order to establish and have it, but we're at least looking into those options. I'd like to say probably as the Shadow Pines pickleball project moves forward, that could be the first potential I could see where either the rec department's in charge of it, where you rent it through them, or this potential company. So I'm thinking like later fall for something like this to.
Might be an opportunity to add some discs.
Disc golf, sorry, yeah. That was another one. That was
Right.
I've talked to a few guys, just some rough conversations about some donations, and many of the players around town have so many discs, they're willing to donate them as starter packs.
Yep.
So I think there's plenty of discs out there. So
Thank you,
keep
yeah.
me posted.
Yep, and that kind of brings up another point too. I did want to mention that we do have an intro to disc golf
Yeah.
program that is in our summer brochure as well.
Very
So we're excited about that and
John
growing
Kelly
those
is teaching
connections.
that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
John Kelly's
so I got to
the
connect them. Yeah.
John Kelly, okay.
John
That's right.
Kelly.
That's the name I was going to
That's
say.
the name.
before. I actually volunteered to help be one of the retrievers, not the teacher.
Perfect.
So,
Okay. Yeah, we're excited for that program. I believe it starts in June, like mid-June. It starts at the community center and then spreads out to Shadow Pines.
I know
So,
John's pretty excited about it.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for that update.
Wonderful. We can move on to the one item we have under old business, the Channing Philbrick Park Trail Bridge project update.
Yeah, they're still working on the plans of that, so no new news on that.
I assume that means there's really no chance that it would be done this year.
No, speaking for myself,
Yeah.
probably not, just because of the DEC regulations and working in a stream or next to a
At some
stream
point, it
type
should
deal.
just be official, like,
Yeah.
it's not even
Yeah.
a conversation for 2024. We're probably there.
Let me write that down.
I do know we were reached out by, what was it, the Seth Green Trout Unlimited group, so I know that there is interest, and they've had those discussions too, so I think they're just asking the questions for the stream aspect, so that'll help with some of that planning over there to make sure things aren't too disturbed.
Wonderful. We have nothing listed under new business. We don't have any members of the public here to offer feedback, but they can always reach out to the town directly or recreation@penfield.org to offer their input for this committee or for Parks and Recreation in general. Move on to the next update. Our next meeting is on June 11th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Are there any other updates or, items that we didn't get to talk about or we want to follow up on or offer more input on right now?
That's our last meeting before we go on a two-month
our
hiatus,
summer.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep, and so the plan is to have that, I'll try and email out the master plan. It won't be a presentation, I believe. It will just be a general discussion by this group.
Yeah.
I will not be here, and I'll highly recommend and promote that is our first Tuesday night concert at the amphitheater, so hopefully I will see you at some point after the meeting. You can come down, and we've got Effortlessly Healthy's food truck at all of our events at the amphitheater this year, so we're excited to be working with them as our main sponsor. But that is Hey Mabel. It's a wonderful Penfield group that is kicking off our amphitheater series. So I'm excited to hear the feedback. I won't be here in person, but I'm excited to take that over the summer and go back to our master plan committee with. So thank you all in advance.
I'm excited for them because I've seen them perform before, and that's an excellent food truck to have as well, so I will be there. Perfect. Since there are no other updates, and I think we got through this agenda fairly quickly, I think we're okay to call this meeting to close? Okay, wonderful. I want to thank you all. As always, I want to thank the Parks and Recreation departments and their team, and also Alfred. So have a wonderful evening, everyone.